Okay, here's an update for the Hovergames, for my progress in the Hovergames. So it's been a bit of a slow moving couple of months. I started off gun-ho, getting out there, getting the drone flying, because I'd never really flown drones before this year. And built it all, got it all going, got the nav queue going, got it flying without crashing and flying autonomously. But then when it came time to program, this is my drone, and when it came time to program the nav queue, which was the whole idea, it's like, and I've been 3D printing a new case for the nav queue, so I'll put that up on Thingiverse when it actually prints without bending. So when it came time to program this to control, to have sensors in the camera and control the actual flying of the drone, that all became a bit scary. The thought of like writing in code, putting it into the drone, and then just testing it, like, yeah, I just couldn't get my head around the fact that that was going to be okay. So then I thought, and also I was struggling to, like, you know, I managed to get everything working. I managed to get to the point where you could load a program and like the propellers would spin, but yeah, I just couldn't get to the test flight part of it. So I thought what I would do to help me also understand a lot is build a rover with the same technology but different computers. So in here we've got a Pixhawk, we've got a Raspberry Pi, some H-bridges and an Arduino, and I 3D printed the base, 3D printed the chassis and seal the motors, and 3D printed, designed and 3D printed it, designed and 3D printed the wheels, so I should put all that stuff on Thingiverse soon. So I thought the idea of like being able to, you know, do the same thing but like with the camera talking to the Pixhawk to control its autonomous operation would be less scary, because this is on the ground and it's not going to fall out of the sky and crash. So I thought it would only take a couple of days to put a rover together. It ended up taking a month or maybe 2 months. This was the third rebuild of it. The first two failed quite quickly. So yeah, building a rover is a lot more complex to make it work through ArduPilot. So more complex than I thought, but the rover works. It's got autonomous operation, and so that's where I was at. This is all functioning. So this week, the last week, we had a person go missing in our local community, and they contacted me and asked me if someone who knew someone contacted me and asked me if they could use the drone to do some searching, search and rescue in some dense bushland. And that was what I was building the drone for, but I never actually thought of using it I never actually thought that would happen. So I realized that if I'd kept up, you know, writing AI into the camera and all that stuff, it could have potentially been very useful, because the person went missing in a pink t-shirt as well. So I didn't end up doing a search. The police found the body, which, yeah, was tragic to be honest. But it's made me realize how useful the drone can be with the AI. So I went out for a test flight and had like a red shirt on, and now I've just loaded up. I've spent the last few days learning OpenCV. So I've loaded up and realized that the camera can pick the pixels out of the air, and I've just got that working today. So now I need to load that into the nav queue and to give it a proper test from the air. I think at this stage it's probably best to keep the AI recognition stuff in the camera separate from the navigation side of the drone. Yeah, I feel like combining them is still a bit too scary. But what I can do now is, like, when I write a program, I can load it into the rover, test it out, the navigation, see how it works. And I know there's SITL, software in the loop and all that stuff, but I don't know, seems like it's completely unrealistic to a real drone situation to me from what I've seen. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm at putting artificial intelligence into the drone. So yes, things are progressing. All right, thanks.